Hello, in this video we will look at a digital signal processing unit from my book Sound and Music Projects for Eurorack and Beyond. And this to me is a really fun project. It's a Eurorack device that provides different types of effects, and to me, the part of the fun is that you can select your own effects. So you might want to have reverb and delay and a bit crusher and so on. And because of the power of the Teensy library, that's really quite easy to do once you have a hardware platform like this one here, the digital signal processing device, which just uses some basic circuitry to get the signal in and out of the Eurorack unit. And of course I talk about in the book. But another thing that I find compelling about the project is that it provides a nice opportunity to roll your own effects. And so I talk about a couple of effects in the books, simple effects. One is a tremolo, and that's easily achieved with some basic fixed point math. And if you're interested in that, you could either just do a simple version, use the pre-existing library, upload it, and have a pretty cool and useful Eurorack effects unit. Or if you're into going a little deeper, it provides a pathway to start to design your own effects. So in any case, we're going to take a look at the DSP project from my book. So let's get started. Before we listen to the effects unit, let's take a moment to talk through the configuration of my setup here in terms of how things are plugged in. So in terms of the signal flow, we have a MIDI output from the Arturia keyboard into the MIDI to control voltage converter. And of course this unit does have CV output, but I think it's helpful to really demonstrate all of these custom projects so that you don't necessarily have to buy an expensive keyboard like this. You could use any old MIDI keyboard and get fairly inexpensive control voltage output that way. So in any case, we've got MIDI coming into the CV converter. We have volt per octave output going into my custom Andy synthesizer. We have gate going to control the gate or the trigger on the Andy synth, and then we have an alternate option of using velocity control as well. So I have that configured to control the cutoff of the Andy synthesizer. The output of that synthesizer, the audio output, comes into the DSP unit here, is processed by the unit. There's a input level control and an output level control, and then some potentiometers that their function will change depending on the current setting, the current effect. So we'll start with the basic reverb effect and then just press the single button to toggle between the different effects. Incidentally, I purposely kept this project simple in terms of code and in terms of the interface. I have since built a more complicated unit that has LEDs to indicate the current effect and some other features like that. But the whole idea of the book is really to develop a knowledge of these underlying concepts and to be able to apply those creatively for your own pursuits. So I'm not meaning this to be the end all of Eurorack devices, but rather a starting point. One thing that's changed since I completed the text for the book is that I took out the pass-through function just because with the wetness that's really the same thing, and I just simplifies the code a little bit. So on this version we just have a selection button. Let's take a listen. So you can hear reverberation. And wetness, and you can control other parts of that such as dampening in the depth as well. And let's take a listen to how this might sound in a sequence. I'll just use a simple arpeggiator. And so on. Let's go to the next effect. And slow. So let's try that with the sequence. I'll turn the rate up a bit. Okay, the third effect we won't hear much in this particular context. It's the bit crusher. And that would be, I think, more easy to hear with a complex sound source instead of a single waveform. So a final effect, let's take a listen to the delay function. And here we go. That is really a lot of fun, and I hope this video has been useful in giving you some ideas on some of the directions that you might go with your own creative applications of the concepts that I talk about in sound and music projects for Eurorack and beyond. Thanks.